Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. So for today we are going on a vacation. So yo, I'm trying to be excited, because truly I'm not excited, but I'll just you guys later. For right now, I need to head downstairs and catch my Uber and be out. Alright guys, so I'm just going to talk briefly about the COVID travel protocols when traveling to Nigeria. So Nigeria requires a negative COVID test to be valid within 96 hours. However, depending on the location you're transiting at, right, they could request for a lesser time. My transit destination was Frankfurt, and a negative COVID test was required within 48 hours upon arrival. There are different kinds of tests you could get done, but the test in question that's needed is the PCR test, which was what I did. And I ended up doing mine a day before I travel, right? And also, before you board the aircraft as well, you're required to show your travel permits. This is an application, or a form rather, by the Nigerian government, and this application or this form can be filled out on the NCDC website. I'm going to leave the link of that website down in the description below. So on that website, you go ahead, you put in your passport information, your final destination, and contact information and all that sort. Depending on your final destination, the payment cost differs, right? If it's Abuja, Port Harcourt, Enugu, or Owerri, you're required to either make a payment for the test right away, or you could pay later after you arrive. The code basically is what you need in order to get on the flight, right? The payment, you could do it at a later time, but this COVID test is required to be done 7 days after you arrive. There are different options to make the payments, and you can either pay in Naira or you could pay in dollars, but trust me, it's cheaper to pay in Naira, because paying in dollars is just going to be a lot more expensive. And once again, I'm going to leave the link to that website in the description bar below. So enjoy. Tired and exhausted. The whole process is tedious. Tired. Let's see how it goes. I don't think I'm gonna like this. Alright guys, so right now I'm in Frankfurt. I'm about to go catch my next flight to Abuja, since Lufthansa cancelled my flight to Port Harcourt. I had to book a flight to Abuja and then from there find my way to Port Harcourt. But right now, I thank God the flight was good. It wasn't a stressful flight, it was easy. Being that I slept most of it. And I had a roll to myself. So I was able to spread and sleep. Right now I'm in Frankfurt. About to head to my terminal and catch my flight. See you later. So at this point, I just finished my check-in at Frankfurt. I'm about to go board my flight to Abuja. And then from there I have to take a flight to PH same day. It's been a stressful journey, but we're gonna see how it goes. Okay? Talk to you later. Bye.
Good morning.
42 seats.
Right here, my dear, put the other right side.
Thank you. Sir, excuse me.
My girlfriend did that.
Let's just cruise.
We don't get tomorrow, they go out anywhere, don't stop us. But when you come out, you are already here, don't worry, you're okay.
How will she get to the back if there's no way for her to get to the back?
Yeah, and once let us sit here.
Moments later.
Like the whole place is dark. I don't know if you guys can hear me because I can barely hear myself. Finally taken off from Abuja to Frankfurt after about 3 hours of arriving and being here. At this point, I'm tired and just want to be with family, to be honest. I finally touched down the Frankfurt. I'm trying to board up the board up the aircraft and go get this stuff. I'm beyond exhausted. Feels like I've been traveling for 2 days. I just want to go home, remove my clothes, shower, and sleep. To be honest. Can't wait to see my family though. At this point, I've gotten up aircraft, so I'm about to go get my bags. Out. Time I think is almost 8:30 p.m. It's not. It's really, well, I wouldn't say it's really hot, but it's humid. It's difficult talking, reading on this, so I'll catch you guys later. Bye.
Oh, they are.
Yes, kind of. So guys, where do I begin to talk about the experience I went through traveling from Canada to Nigeria? To start with, I woke up that morning feeling I had time, right, to pack and also get ready and go to the airport. I had time on my side, but for some reason, about 2 hours, I think it's almost about 2 hours to the flight, I just decided to check my itinerary again, only because I booked it through an agency, for me to realize that, oh, something wrong with my date of birth actually on the information they entered. So I called. On my calling, I spoke to my agent who assisted in booking my ticket, only for him to tell me that, Grace, there's no flight to Port Harcourt, Nigeria. The flight is cancelled. And I'm like, what do you mean the flight is cancelled? I've checked on the website. It says the flight is confirmed. And I've also I called Lufthansa earlier that day to do my booking. And they said, oh no, just go to the kiosk there when you get to the airport and you're good. Nobody told me anything about the flight being cancelled. Mind you, this was about 10 or so in the morning when I called. So I had time, if my flight was cancelled, for me to make adjustments. Anyways, the guy goes ahead and said the flight was cancelled. There's no flights for that day leaving for Port Harcourt, Nigeria. And I'm like, this doesn't make any sense. I have to leave this country today because I had paid the previous day and gotten my COVID test done. With the results out and me not flying, that just means I would have to pay again to do another COVID test, and I just wasn't having it. So I was like, okay, so what can we do? He said he could try to contact Lufthansa so as to see what the options are. And I'm like, if the flight is not going to Port Harcourt, so where is that flight stopping at? Because the flight was scheduled to leave Canada for that day. And eventually, there was supposed to be a layover at Abuja. So the final destination for the flight happened to be Abuja as opposed to Port Harcourt. And I'm like, can I be on that flight then? Because I have to leave the country today. He said he's going to try. But while he's trying, I could contact Lufthansa and see if there's anything they could do for me. All right, then. I picked up the phone. I called Lufthansa. The first agent I spoke to wasn't of any help, right? I called. They heard my voice. I told them what my issue was. The call just went silent, and I knew someone was on that call, but they just refused to say anything. I spoke to about 6 agents. I think it was when I got through to the 7th person that I had to plead with them that said, this is urgent. Do not hang up. Do not disconnect the call. Do not act like you can't hear me. I need your help, right? And then the lady was like, I'm not going to do that. I would help you. And she did help me. She tried her best to reschedule my flight, right? Being my final destination was Port Harcourt, to change it to Abuja, but she wasn't able to, given I booked it with an agency. So she said I had to go through the agency. But the other thing she did advise was I could go to the airport, right, and try to see if it can be done at the airport. And mind you, my initial flight was supposed to be for 6:50 p.m., but the flight got moved to 6:20. And I'm like, what exactly is going on? But anyway, to cut the long story short, I had to quickly dress up, rush myself, got at the house. There was now traffic on the road, so I got to the airport late. A drive that was supposed to be for about 15 minutes took me 45 minutes to 1 hour. I got there late. I think I was the last person to be checked in. The lady I spoke to at the counter of Lufthansa wasn't of any help. That one just told me to weigh all my bags, right? And she's like, oh, you have excess luggage, you need to pay. I was like, okay. At this point, I wasn't even in the mood to start pleading anything. I was like, fine. I went ahead and I made the payments. And the next lady that works with the customer service was of great help. She helped me switch my flights and made the final destination to Abuja with a few calls she made, and that was done. So this one flight I took from Canada to Abuja did not only cost me more money by paying for excess luggage, I also had to book a flight from Abuja heading to Port Harcourt, right, that same day, because I just had to go home. I just had to touch home first. On reaching Nigeria, I looked at my bags. Well, on reaching Abuja, once I got to the Abuja airport, I brought out my bags and everything. My bags were completely damaged. I was just like, God, what is happening to me today? Where do I even begin? My bags, both my luggages were broken, and then my hand luggage, I had to check that in as well because she said I had to because it was overweight. Looking to complain at the airports, they were all just reluctant. They all give like the nonchalant attitude or the nonchalant vibe. Or you can call the Lufthansa customer care service and they would assist you. At that point, I just wanted to just grab my things and leave, which I did. So now I left with the local flights, right? The local flights only allow one bag and it can only weigh 20 kg. Mind you, I'm coming from an international flight that you're entitled to 2 bags and it's 23 kg each. So I had to pay for an additional luggage and extra kg on top. It was just a stressful journey that I just wanted to just get home, undress, shower, and just sleep, because the day started off good for me, but for some reason it just went down the line. By the end of the day, I thank God for a safe flight and for the fact that I was able to see my family.